Hi guys, welcome to episode 16 of my Let's Play. What I thought I'd do today is actually a little bit of Stormcraft. I haven't started on Stormcraft yet, so we're going to have to start right at the very beginning. And the very beginning of Stormcraft actually involves making, let me see, it involves a wand. So actually we'll grab some sticks. We need some gold nuggets, or a gold nugget. We also need some of these Viz shards or air shards. Now I think you can pretty much use any one that you like. I'm going to use a Viz shard because we seem to have more than them than the others. And this here is going to give us a wand. If we put them together like that, we'll get our Wand of the Apprentice, which is our very first wand. And if we hold that, we'll see just above our hunger bar there is a little Viz bar, which is the contents of the wand. So the wand currently holds 0 Viz, and it should be recharging, and it isn't, which makes me think that we're in a non-Viz area. So let's just I have visitors, so let's just see if we can go and find somewhere for that. Let's just have an apple before we leave, and we'll go until we start seeing this charge up. Now hopefully we're going to find a Viz area fairly close. This is something that I've kind of noticed in the later versions of Stormcraft, is that there are areas that don't have any Viz at all, which can make things a little bit awkward. So you're going to have to probably place any Stormcraft area away from your base if you happen to find yourself in one of those low Viz areas. Now hopefully I'm not going to have to go too far. Now forests were always an area that were decent amount of Viz, but I don't appear to have any Viz in this one. I guess all the mechanics have changed since Stormcraft 2, so we'll just have to keep going until we find some Viz. A nice cave down there. I have to come back to that at some point. There we go. So as you can see, we are charging our wand, and you can see that going up. Let's see if I can. I think the closer you are to the node, the quicker it's going to recharge. And I can't actually see the node yet, but we can almost triangulate the position. It seems to be up here somewhere. It's going quite quickly now. So there we go, we have a wand with 50 Viz in it, and we're going to need to head back home, and that's quite a long way away, isn't it? That's not ideal at all. Hopefully we can find somewhere a bit closer. Yeah, it wouldn't be very good if we had to make our Stormcraft area all the way over there. Maybe I'll try going the other way when I need to recharge this, see if I can find something a little bit closer. That, like in that redwood forest. I can't remember if I've seen some silverwoods anywhere. Silverwoods are normally a good indication of where to go, or of where there's decent amounts of Viz. Right, the reason I've come over here is... Right, I remember, this is discharging into these, isn't it? I need to charge my jetpack up. Is there any power left in there? There surely is. So we'll take that power out of there. So that bat box is effectively just going to be empty now. And I guess what's happening is these electrolyzed water cells are discharging into the battery box. That would be about right. Let's so that's now charging up using power from this electrolyzer. really what I intended it for, but maybe I should just take that out. We'll take that out so that doesn't happen. In fact, I can take that out as well. And that's giving me a machine block, not an electrolyzer. So there's a lesson for you. Don't do that. There's no need to do that. Should have used a wrench. For some reason, I thought the electrolyzer would give me would come back as is because it is a tier one machine. But no worries. We will when we need our electrolyzer, we'll just remake it. We have a machine block to get started with that. Let's throw the battery box in there as well. Okay, so we have our charged wand. The next step in this process, we're actually going to need 3 books to make a bookcase, and it looks like we've just got enough leather. Like so. Give us 3 books, and we have some planks. Hopefully we have planks. If not, we can just go like that. Get our bookcase, and this bookshelf is going to basically, when we place it on the ground and right click it with a wand, it's going to use 25 viz out of the wand, and it's going to make this this lovely book. And this book here is the Thaumonomicon, and it's what's going to tell us exactly what we need to do next. So up on this left hand side, this is basically the handbook to Thorncraft. So we can read in here and find out what's going on with different world generation features. So we've got greatwood trees, silverwood trees, and it tells us all about them there. Shimmer leaves, cinder pearls. Then it gives you an overview of the aspects of magic, which I will go over as we get to it. Then it explains the aura, and as I was explaining a minute ago, we don't have any aura at all here. And then there's flux. Flux is like bad aura, so you have your good and your bad. This you need to make sure that you don't have too much bad. You get too much bad, you get wisp spawn and other strange things, and that's not good. And then infused ore. This is stuff that we've been mining up to get the crystals. So there we go. That's basically our Thorncraft guide on the left hand side. On the right hand side here, this is telling us all about how we actually get started with the basic research. So this is our wand, which we just made over there in a workbench. How you would do this without knowing about, you need the wand to get this book. So, but that tells you basically how to make your wand. Then we have the Thaumonomicon, which just said use the wand on the bookshelf, and 25 viz, and that's going to give you the book that you're looking at right now. So the next things that we want, we're going to need to have a look at tables. So we need to make a table or 2 or 3 in fact, because we need an arcane work table. That's our first thing, and this is going to tell us how to make it. And then we need yep, there's your scribing tools. Your scribing tools go onto another couple of tables to give you the research table. So you put 2 tables together with the scribing tools, and that's going to give you your research table, and that tells you all about it. So if I miss anything out, you can just go and have a look at that, and it will tell you. And this explains the new enchantments that Thorncraft adds. So we've got haste, repair, potency, frugal, charging, and treasure, which is cool. So that is basically this bit here, and then we've also got the crucible, which we'll cover as well. Glass vials. We can basically, yes, we'll get to glass vials later on. Crucible, though, this is something we're going to get to fairly soon. You need a normal cauldron and some kind of heat underneath it, pretty much. So let's get started with this. Hopefully we can. We need to make a couple sets of slabs, and then we'll need we need another one along there as well. So we need 3 of these tables first of all. We want one by itself and we want 2 together. Now the one by itself we're going to whack with the wand, and that's going to use up, it's actually not going to use up any of this. So we whack that with the wand, and see our wand goes on the table, and that's just like another workbench, except it can also use power out of this this wand, or whatever wand you have in there. So the next thing we need is we need some scribing tools. Now scribing tools are, it's a feather with a glass bottle and an ink sac. There we go. Put them together, and it's a shapeless recipe, so these things can go anywhere. You get your scribing tools, and then when you take your scribing tools and throw it onto a double table or 2 tables next to each other, you get the research table. Now the research table needs paper, so we'll grab our paper and we'll put that in the paper slot. Now you can barely see it. I think this is the default texture for this table, but you can barely see. There's kind of an outline or an imprint of paper in this slot here, and that's where the paper goes. Now the other thing that I'm going to do straight away is I'm going to turn this from cursory to thorough, and that's more of a personal preference thing. The difference between the 2 modes is on cursory you're less likely to lose the thing that you're researching, but also less likely to gain a big increase on your progress of your research. Thorough, you're more likely to lose something, but you're also more likely to get a big increase over here. So what you may want to do is do cursory until you figure out that you actually need one of these aspects that show up here in this research, and then switch it to thorough, or you could just do what I do and just leave it on thorough and go for blind luck. So when we put something in there, now this is charcoal, so it's got potentia, which is power, energy, strength, ignis, fire, heat and burn, and lignum, which is wood, forest, tree, which is the kind of aspects you would expect to find on charcoal, seeing as it's a source of fuel that's made from wood. Makes sense. If you hold shift and hover over any other items, a lot of items, not all of them, but a lot of them actually have aspects on, and they show just above the tooltip there. So you can see we have and that's rock and shatter or something, fractus, destruction, fragmented, shattered, and stone, because that's cobblestone. Some things like the copper corn don't have aspects on, some other things do, and there's loads of different aspects that you can find. So it's just a case of figuring out which ones are going to do what you want them to do. And once you've decided what it is you're going to research, if you click on this magnifying glass like I just did then, you can see you won't always find out straight away what it is you're researching. In this case we're researching elementum, and we have two aspects that we don't know what they are yet. Now these are probably going to be, I want to say ignis and potentia. So we'll just keep hitting that, and that is exactly what they are. And this is one of the very early recipes, so we can just keep researching until both of these get the lighting around it like that, and then you know that you've maximised the amount of research that you need for these. Now what you'll also notice here is that the lignum has faded out. That means that this research item here, these notes don't require any lignum to be researched, so we can forget about putting in wood. Actually redwood won't work anyway. Sticks have lignum. There's no point doing that because this doesn't need it, and we can see that because it's faded. Okay, so the other thing we need is fractus, so let's grab us some cobble, and this should let us research that. And as you'll see, this saxum, the stone rock one, has faded out. We don't need saxum, we just need the shattered. There we go, and that is now complete, and we have our elementum. So if we switch over to that and have a look, it says this substance throbs with fiery energy and it is more than eager to release that energy at the slightest bump. It may be unstable, but it would probably make a good source of fuel. So it gives you some ideas on how it's used. The other thing I can't show you here, I should have shown you before. Now what you do to actually learn that, you hold it, press right click, and that will show up in your Thaumonomicon. Now you'll notice I already have Nitor learned. That's because I actually recorded this episode already, and I didn't actually have my recording software running, so I've basically destroyed everything that I made and started again. So we have our Nitor done already. We now have elementum, and if we click into that, we can see that we need, was it 3 fractus, 6 ignis and 6 potentia in a crucible with 5 vis to get our elementum. So the next thing we're going to need, if we're going to make some of this, or in fact make some Nitor, which is 4 ignis, 6 lux and 4 potentia, we would need a crucible. So let's make our crucible, and that'll be the start of our Thorncraft. Now we don't actually have any vis in the aura here, so that's going to be a little bit awkward. We can do our research here, but most of the crafting is really going to have to be done somewhere else, or I'm going to have to figure out a way to bring some aura over here. So we need 7 iron nuggets for this, and we'll just throw that in a U-shape like that, and we'll get the vanilla cauldron. Now the other thing we're going to want is we're going to need a source of heat underneath it. Actually I forgot to cover it in, but this is the hole I made before for our cauldron. So we'll put our netherrack down there, and we'll put our flint underneath, on top, or light it with a flint. That's going to give us some fire, and that will provide heat for our crucible once we whack it with the wand. So let's go grab our wand. Our wand currently has 25 vis, and if we have a look at how we make our crucible, you can see it takes a wand with 25 vis, so we are quite lucky in that I don't need to go running off again. We right click that, and now it's converted itself to a cauldron, which you can see because it has the little Thorncraft symbol on the side. So if we put some water in there, eventually that will start bubbling. Now I do need to go off and charge this, so what I think I'll do, let's have a quick look at the map. Now you see we've got Silverwood tree down there. It looks like it. If I head off this way, Silverwood trees, there you are, it's over there, look, are supposed to have an aura node inside them. So if we head to this tree, we might well be able to get our one charging up. And I really hope this has an aura node in it. And actually it doesn't seem to have a node. That's really strange. That's supposed to have one. I wonder if yeah, okay. That was unexpected. But just over here we have some this, so I think that might be a little bit closer than the other way. It is a bit strange there's no node over there though. We'll find out when we can get our goggles. Find out exactly what's going on with our aura. Okay, let's head on home. And we're not actually going to need that viz yet, but it's always handy to keep your wand charged, especially if you're in a low aura area like we are. Okay, so I think that is about going to do it for today's episode, guys. It is very short, I know, and it's also very late. As I said, I had problems with the recording, so hopefully this will be a good replacement for my original episode. I keep getting these errors happen. Hopefully it's not going to carry on for longer, and I'll settle into it a little bit more. We can see our cauldron is bubbling away there. It means it's ready to accept items if we are going to craft something. Thanks for watching, guys. Please look out for future videos. Hit the sub button. I will definitely make sure I get on top of this recording lark and make sure we can get some stuff done in good time, so that I don't leave you hanging waiting for videos. But there you are. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.